Hey everyone, Lauren here. I look after product marketing at Cortex, and I wanted to take a few minutes to walk you through our latest feature, plugins. As you probably expect, plugins let you really take ownership over your user experience by enabling you to bring data from anywhere and build new functionality on top of the Cortex UI. That's especially useful if you don't know all the data sources or use cases you may eventually need to support. So let's start by diving into the new plugins tab that you're going to see here at the top of your homepage, and we're going to register a new plugin. Here's where you're going to input some metadata related to your plugin in the fields provided, like the name, the description. The code itself is going to come out of a scaffolded repository that you would have set up using the plugin creation template in Scaffolder. In that repository, you're going to notice it's a React TypeScript setup. So once you've installed your dependencies, you can run your own build and it'll install an HTML file, which you can then upload directly here. So let's take a look at an example that we've already created. I'm going to go back to the plugins tab here and dive into this GitHub releases plugin and dive into the edit page here. This one's related to GitHub releases. You can see here it shows us all releases for a repo, as well as when they were created, when it was deployed, and who actually did that, and any details associated with that release. If we scroll down the page here, you can also see that you can set the minimum user role, so who can actually view this plugin. You can determine whether it's going to be included in global context and also set which entity type this plugin appears on. So we have it set to appear on any service entities versus any resources, domains, or teams. You can also decide which groups to include or exclude. And if you scroll down to the very bottom, you get a preview of what that plugin data is going to look like live on one of the entity pages. So let's go ahead and dive into one of those entity pages to see actually what it would look like in production. I'm going to go back up to the top here to the catalogs tab, go into the services catalog because that's where we set this plugin to appear on, and dive into any given service here. This is our service detail page. You're going to notice on the left-hand menu now there's a new space for plugins, and I can see all the plugins that are related to this service, and I can see that GitHub releases plugin for this service, the created date, the author, when it was released, and any notes associated with it. That's not the only place you can access this information. If you go back to the home page, you can also now customize how these plugins appear. So versus just appearing in the left-hand menu, you can also have it appear here on this menu tab next to the action items, or even in your top line nav if it's that important to your developer's workflow. You can also now rearrange the order of these tabs too to customize the experience a little bit further. So we looked at a pretty simple example, but remember that you can do lots of things with plugins, like pull data from anywhere, including homegrown tools, display your favorite dashboards, or create new ones that surface more data for developers right within the Cortex interface, or even add shortcuts to adjacent systems like deploying to Jenkins from Cortex. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you end up creating.